Oh my god. Hey, can you hand me a beer?
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you.
Hey, bitch. That's right.
Sorry about that. I accidentally took a sip of the beer before before we got the chance to clink it.
Getting a little overzealous.
Yeah, that's been known to me. So I guess I just want to welcome everybody who may be listening to this. This is the Midweek Confession. My name is Steve. You may hear me called by some other names. Scumbag Steve, Scummy, Scumdog, Brad. In a later podcast, we'll get into kind of the origins of those names. I'm joined today with Dirty. Joining yourself. Introduce yourself, Dirty.
Yeah, my name's Scott, but you're not going to hear anyone call me Scott on this podcast, so it's just Dirty, Dirtbag. A few other names.
Max.
About 11 different names.
Yeah. So basically, the gist of what I have envisioned for this is it's just going to be a couple people sitting down. We're calling it a confession because we're in kind of a very small, condensed room here, just like a confessional booth.
No one's fucking, though, so...
Yeah, and kind of my I guess vision for this is just two people kind of shooting the shit back and forth, having some drinks and maybe getting into some deep secret stories or happenings that we've had that we otherwise wouldn't share with many other people, but we're comfortable sharing across the airwaves. And Lord knows you and I have more than a few of those kind of stories.
Yeah, this will be kind of like a confessional booth. This shit ain't coming out anywhere else. Be lying about this shit.
Yeah. So, the day we're recording this, it's November 1st. Dirty, you and I just got done completing Sober October. And it was an interesting story to say the least. Do you have any initial snap reactions to it?
Well, I mean...
Was it harder than you thought?
No.
Easier than you thought? Exactly.
No, it was completely easy. I mean, staying sober, that's the easy thing. I mean, if I was 21, it wouldn't have been so easy. But, I mean, that was the easy part. It was surprising.
How do you mean?
Because when I dislocated my shoulder, I went to the hospital. Before Sober October, I was 209. And when I went to the hospital, and mind you, going to the gym 5 days a week, some days 6, doing cardio and doing lifting, you would think that I would have lost weight. I gained 9 pounds.
Over the course of... And this was about a week ago?
That was the 22nd when that happened.
Yeah, so over the course of 3 weeks, you managed to gain 9 pounds. And I just want to let everybody know that when he says 209, 218, this isn't a fit or a muscular...
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm not being... I'm not
Well,
intentionally
no,
being
I mean,
an asshole.
yeah, from the stomach down, no, definitely not. But, like, I mean, if you look at my shoulders and, like the chest area, you're like, he does something.
Yeah. Well, and that may be it, too. You may just be gaining muscle mass and losing fat, but...
Yeah, but, like, what pisses me off is I didn't lose anything around the stomach. But, like, I didn't go up in pant size or in shirt size. I actually went down. I have fucking sweatshirts now. I'm down in, like, I mean, this t-shirt's an extra large.
Mm-hmm.
And it's big on me. Bought these sweatshirts last week. Just these regular old little sweatshirts. They're larges. And they're still kind of big on me. Big enough to cover everything and still they look like they're not tight. They're not skin tight.
I gotcha. So you're still in a better position now than you were 3 months ago, though, right?
Dude, 3 months ago I was down to what? Like I think when we
Oh
did the
yeah.
original weigh-ins, you and I was at like I was what close to 20. Like I was at 216, so I'm actually gained weight,
Yeah.
and I've been hit. I mean, not the past like week and a half. I haven't been going to the gym because I don't trust my arm to stay in its place. But you know,
So kind of going off of that.
hold on, hold on.
Okay.
What's your weigh-in? What are
So
you at now? Start with where you started at, you fat fuck. Because you were at like, what, 190?
middle of July, I weighed in at 193 pounds flat.
193.
I'm 5'9", so yeah, I was overweight. Um, I weighed myself just this morning, and I was 163 pounds. So I've lost 30 pounds over the course of October. I think I started October 1.
This is what fucking pisses me off.
What?
So, in our whole Sober October, it was our little competition because sober was easy, so we decided to go off of steps. Now, you beat me by 20,000 steps, but for the last fucking 9 days of October, for the last 10 days of October, I wasn't able to go to the fucking gym. So you beat me by 20,000 steps. Now, when I looked at it, every Sunday, there was one day I had 32 or anywhere from 32,000 to 35,000 steps in one day.
Holy shit.
Every Sunday, I had at least 25,000 up till then.
Wow.
So, so for fucking 9 days, because of that, if I would have went to the gym at least 6 of those days, I would have fucking beat you.
Right.
But you still fucking lost weight. That pisses me off. That fucking pisses me off because I know you and I know that you may not have gone out to the bar, but like you were hanging out with some women with some loose morals, for a better term than what I would like to use.
Yeah.
And going out to eat, and you probably had fucking Taco Bell like twice a week or some bullshit.
Well, my thing is, I'll talk about this and I'll get into my whole October perspective. So, I do eat fast food a lot. At work, I'm too lazy to make and pack my lunches ahead of time. But at work, there's really only fast food around us. But I watch and count my calories. So I probably had Taco Bell over the course of the month maybe 5 or 6 times. But I wasn't getting what I normally get. I was getting I'd get a power bowl with chicken, and then I get a steak taco. That's only 700 calories for that whole meal, and that'll fill you up. But yeah, sober October for me was difficult, and the sober part was difficult not because I felt like I was necessarily like jonesing for a drink, but that was just my routine. Like, I'd get home from work, I'd sit my ass on the computer, I'd crack open a beer, and I'd watch some videos or Netflix or whatever, and it was just getting out of that routine of doing that and increasing my time going to the gym. I think I started to reset my brain to where my brain would think, okay, I'm home from work now, I got to get ready to go to the gym to work out, then I can come home and relax. And by the time I get home, I'm just so worn out that I don't even want to drink. I don't just make some tea and sit down. And
Yeah, but you kind of switched that thinking the months prior, because after we started going to the gym, then you stopped drinking. You pretty much stopped drinking. You cut way back on the drinking.
I was drinking 7 days a week. Probably the least that I would drink a day would be 3 16-ounce Coors Lights, and that was the minimum. Weekends were really bad. I'd go through. It's not you from back when we were younger, but I mean, I'd go through well over half a bottle of vodka or whiskey.
All right, so
in a
like a
day.
third of what I would
Yeah,
do when I was
yeah,
21.
yeah. But still, obviously, way too much. And you know, I hate to say this, but I do owe it to you for pulling me out of that because I got broken up with the end of June, and I really started to spiral. I was drinking a lot more and doing nothing, and then one day you texted me something along the lines of, what was it? I'm coming over tonight. We're going to the fucking gym, or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I like how you brought this up because not only have you just brought it up here, but you also brought this up on Facebook, which fucking disgusted me because I was just like, oh, this motherfucker, he's just trying to get laid. He's using, and at that point, like you would stop drinking and you had lost like some ridiculous amount of weight just from not drinking. You
Right.
lost like 15 or 20
Yeah.
pounds, and it was only been like a month or something.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, this motherfucker. Like, I've actually been going to the gym and fucking working out constantly, and this asshole just, he goes to the gym like 3 or 4 times a week, and he just cuts out alcohol, and he's losing all this weight.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've naturally got a higher metabolism than you do too, so that kind of.
But, like, and this is what's crazy, though, because, and I'll admit, like, the last 9 days of October after that. So, alright, first confession. Right after I dislocated the shoulder, because in our agreement it was no smoking.
Uh-huh.
After that, all I had to do was smoke. So I had, like, I was stuck at home, so I was smoking cigarettes the last 9 days. Because it's just like, I can't go to the gym, couldn't play guitar, couldn't really do shit. I would
Yeah.
just lay in bed, watch American Horror Stories, the whole fucking series, or what's on Netflix, smoke cigarettes, and eat. Now, the last 9 days, yeah, I fucking picked out. Especially after I saw the 218, I was like, ah, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm getting Chinese food, and I had fucking Taco Bell twice this week. Don't give a
Nice.
fuck. But before then, my eating hadn't changed to what it was. I was only eating, and it sounds bad when you actually hear it. I would have chicken and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken and rice, and I'd throw in like sriracha sauce in the rice and everything.
Oh yeah.
Because, being paid bi-weekly, so 14 days, I have fucking 12 days.
Where you ate just that?
Yeah, where I ate that, but like beforehand, I might have a frozen dinner, but it was like 400 calories. So I was only eating maybe like 1,200 calories a day, but I was burning at least 1,000 calories at the gym.
Oh right.
And yet I fucking gained 9 pounds.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I don't know. I'm baffled. Maybe God just doesn't want you to be skinny.
Fucking. God damn it.
So, I want to kind of circle back to what I kind of hinted at before. When I don't know if you remember the day that I got broken up with. I texted you, and I said, "Dirty, I might need you to come over." And
I remember.
And you said why, and I said she just broke up with me. And do you remember what you responded?
Not entirely.
You said,
Oh,
you said something like, "I'm leaving in 5 minutes. I've got a bottle of scotch."
I said that? That doesn't sound like me.
Because
No, well, continue.
it. What can't you talk about?
That's not exactly what I said. Because I said, what? She catch you cheating or something?
Oh, yeah. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I said something like that, and I was like, really? She just did it out of nowhere? That's weird. And then what I said was, well, you let me know because I got this scotch.
Yeah. That's that whole day was kind of hazy for me, so I knew the gist of what happened, but I yeah, I remember that now, and that was a thing that was insane to me. But so you showed up, and we hung out, powered through the scotch. You played you're playing a game on my computer called House Party. You can get it on Steam. It's very cheap. It's a really fun game. You have
Yeah,
to
very
you
nice.
have to
I've played it several times.
you have to be over 18 to purchase and play it because there are some
You might want a desktop too. I might have to get one. I need more games to play.
there. It's a very sexual game and very it's very graphic. But
Very fun though.
after that that night we went to a local bar here, a couple blocks away. And I think I just decided I wanted to go to the bar. Nobody was there at that point in time, right?
Yeah, no one was there.
And we I ended up having a girl that I knew. She was in the area, and she stopped over and hung out with us, and then came back to my place. And you came back too, and we all kind of hung out for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I played House Party. You guys, you guys were laid up on the bed and making out and shit. And at that point, I was pretty drunk, and I was just like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Fuck playing House Party. Do whatever. I don't give a shit.
Which
And you know what? You have got to be the only person I know who could sit there and get broken up with and laid on the same fucking day.
yeah, that's that is a regret that I have. That's something I
That was that July 2nd or 3rd?
it was no
That was
it, it
that was the 3rd.
It was end of June. It was the end of June.
No? Yeah?
Yeah, I went through my text and checked it out. It was a Friday. The last Friday in June, 28th or 29th, I think. Because my now ex came over right after work. And, shit, I forgot where I was going with that. We,
Broke up with you?
huh?
Got her shit? Broke up with you?
Yeah, thanks for,
I just like to get you on track.
yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. But, yeah, it was the end of June, and yes, I did get laid that night. Again, I regret it.
No, you don't. Don't be.
What?
Yeah, you regret it. Yeah, fuck you.
I don't regret the fact that I got laid or the fact that I had sex, but just the whole circumstances surrounding it. I obviously wasn't in a good mental state at that point in time.
Oh,
And,
fucking poor you. Oh, I just got broke up with. Oh, why are you throwing pussy at me like this? I'm so brokenhearted. But like,
yeah,
I have a feeling like it would have happened regardless. Maybe not that day.
well, yeah, but
Could have happened on a fucking Wednesday. But the Wednesday before.
but if you recall my past breakups too, that was kind of the initial gut reaction that I had was just kind of fuck it, I'm gonna go out and
Bang away.
in so many words, yeah. But anyways, moving on from that.
Oh, please.
What?
There's not a whole lot of shit. Like, you're bullshitting right now, but like, I know how it really is, though. I mean, it's kind of the way you go through life, though. Just,
What do you mean? It's kind of the way I go through life.
nah, I got a problem? Fucking plow right through it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you hand me another beer, please?
Jesus.
What? We've been doing this for quite a while now. 20 minutes.
Yeah, quite a while. So as you were.
No, I was trying to smoothly transition off of that topic.
Well, let's go on to another one. So, like
hold,
a week.
hold on. Why do I feel like we? Why do I feel like we talk about this, we get this all set up, and you're using this in your mind as an interrogation of me?
It's not an interrogation. I was there for the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead.
But like, what's funny is just like that happened the day that you got broken up with.
Right.
All right. So the end of June. So a week later was the 4th of July.
Yes. So, okay. So
I was here for the 4th of July, wasn't I? I came here July 3rd.
Yes, you were here for the 4th of July. I was not. So the day that I got broken up with, I also downloaded Tinder and I made an account and I started talking to somebody who,
Tinder women.
yeah, which if you've never been on Tinder or you're not very familiar with it,
You're missing out.
well, it's from my experience, it's either women or girls who are fake, people pretending because
A lot of fakes.
yeah, because they're way too attractive for at least this part of the country. We're in northwestern Indiana, and
I don't know about Northwestern. I think we're more like central north, really.
I'm not trying to super pinpoint where we're at.
We're up by Michigan, people. Not too far from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You don't know South Bend, but you know Notre Dame.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a whole bunch of either women with pictures of them in very revealing bikinis near palm trees, or kind of subpar women, to say the least. And I'm going to apologize if you can hear my dogs barking. They are going absolutely insane. I think somebody's coming in the house.
Possibly a robber, but we're kind of busy right now. Can't be fucking around with these people.
So, anyways, going back to that, downloaded Tinder, started talking to this girl, and I want to know your perspective on this, because obviously my thought process was, I just want to get laid. So like, how did you find out about this girl I was talking to? What were your thoughts?
You showed me. Because
yeah.
like you did that. You guys started like texting. She sent you pictures, and you're like, "Hey, check this out," and you're like, "Oh, and this is what she looks like from her Tinder profile." And I was like, "Really, her?" And I was like I remember, I guess I'm conflicted because I was proud of you because like, oh yeah, my boy's gonna get laid, but then I'm also like, something's kind of shit. You could do a little bit better.
I can do much better. Yeah.
Coming from me, you'd think that would hold more weight, but like you were like dead set on it. And I remember, so you set this up for the 4th of July. Now I stayed here the 3rd of July, and I remember this because I came back. I had a bad day at work. I think I had a headache. You had a bottle of Smirnoff.
Yep.
On the car. You had a glass, and you were like, "Here, drink this water." And I saw the vodka, and I'm like, and I took the drink, and I'm like, "Wow, that's some fucking good water." And then I drank like 2 more like glasses of water. And so you were, and that was July 3rd. So you were going the next day to hang out with this broad. And so you went, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking stick around. So I went home. And later that night, now after already seeing the pictures and everything, and thinking what I had thought, I don't remember if you texted me first or if I texted you, but I remember being so mad because whatever it was, I had responded, and then you responded, and you were like, "Oh, she's so beautiful," And I remember just being like, "You are so full of shit. Just fucking tell me the details, you cocksucker."
Which is, I have never said those words about anybody to you in my life. I don't think.
Even women that you dated.
Right? Yeah,
What I'm your previous ex, like you would always talk about, and I was just like, you know what? And then like I met her, and I was like, all right, you know what?
the one that I was just with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she. Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Not to say that your others weren't good looking.
Right.
It's,
No.
they had their own personal faults, though.
Yeah, to say the least, and yeah, and I mean that just wasn't the kind of friendship you and I have. We're not going to sit here and swoon over girls to each other. So
No,
so
I'm
when
gonna
I
make fun of you.
yeah, so when I text you about some random Tinder hookup, she's so beautiful. I feel like you have to know in your heart of hearts something's going on.
No, because you were at you were like at this like weird place, and it wasn't your normal type. You had this type. You had this type like you're, and I've said this to you plenty of times, where I think that your average has kind of dropped off, where you've like set the bar really low, and like that one was just so below your average, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And like, I mean, good body, but like, on the face. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
So I'm curious, what's your perception of my type? Because I mean, I
Now
feel like,
or then?
well, I mean, I feel like the girls I've dated have been.
Dated. Alright, now, that's different. Because dated, you stay consistent. You stay consistent when you date. They're very good looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't get along with them.
Like
One of them.
my
Only one of them.
my very long term ex. Yeah.
Only one of them. Fucking hated that bitch. But, and typically just ones that you just sleep with. Sleep with. You had this fucking amazing talent, and I won't go into the numbers, but I only counted out of the many, maybe 4 that were like fives. 5 out of 10, like 4 that were 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
On the hotness scale, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Which, like, normally 5s would be average.
right, yeah, 5 is
But
not.
but when I'm looking through the list and I see that, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they doing on the list? And it's just like, this one, I would say she's maybe a 6. The Tinder one.
Oh yeah,
She was like maybe a 6.
maybe, yeah.
But like, and then after that, she what you went over there for the whole day. You stayed the night. You left at like 10 in the morning. You got back here at like 11.
Yeah.
All right. So that happens, and then she wants to hang out that day,
Yeah.
and she wanted to hang out that day. Right away, that's a red flag. So she's a 6 on the looks, but then that's a red flag. Fucking all day, and then wants to hang out right after. That's
Yeah.
kind of a red flag. That's kind of codependent.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I feel like the conversations that I had with her, they were leading up to meeting. They were very. We were both clear that we weren't looking for anything long term. We were looking for just a hang out, hook up, maybe friends with benefits type deal, because her and I did get along. We had some vastly different political views, but we kind of could come to a common ground on everything. But then I realized when I was there at her house, hanging out with her, that she was definitely looking for something a lot more. If I looked at my phone at all, she'd give me a weird look. I was texting you throughout the night, and she was asking if I was looking for a way to get out of staying. And just really weird for the first time meeting somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I got a weird vibe immediately, but I'm not the kind of person to just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going home. This is weird. I wanted to kind of
Really?
try.
Dude, I would, oh, Jesus Christ. I would dip out
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah. But because we were having a good time, we were sitting outside. It was 4th of July, so people were lighting fireworks off. We were sitting outside drinking a little bit and just talking, whatever. And at some point in the night, I realized I've had too much to drink. I'm going to have to stay here, and I'm going to have to sleep with her. She's obviously expecting it. Um, just with the way she was talking to me and touching me and everything, and then
It's kind of hard to dip out in the middle of the night when you're cuddling her and she's got your arm trapped.
Yeah. So at that point, I realized, okay, I'm stuck here, and she was just getting really, almost combative. I don't want to use that word, and that's when I texted you, text you that she was so beautiful, so that I could show her that and say, no, this is what I said. I'm not trying to get out of here. Here's proof. Because I didn't want to try to drunk drive home for however far away it was, which is something I would have done in the past.
Oh, no doubt.
But yeah. So I was not looking to do that. I was hoping we could just go to sleep and I'd wake up the next morning and say, hey, thanks for hanging out, blah blah blah.
Oh, that was great. I gotta fucking go.
Yeah. But that did not happen. She seduced me, and I went willingly because I had quite a bit of alcohol in my system.
Yeah, probably quite a bit. I don't doubt it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way I can... No, you know what? No, I can't really relate. Except for the fact where, I've been, I guess, bamboozled. Like, yeah, and I've told you this before, but like I dated this one girl who immediately after I slept with, I went to the bathroom, I sat on the toilet and was like, I gotta get this bitch out of here. This was a bad idea. Because she was planning on staying the whole weekend.
Oh.
This was Friday.
Oh.
She was wanting to go home on Sunday. And I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. Because... Alright. So, what happened was...
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Do you have your lighter? Keep going. Oh. I found it.
Alright. But anyways... So, she came over. And... I think she was on her period. Doesn't really matter. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
So we're messaging, and you know how some women are really good at taking face pictures, right? But they don't really take anything else.
Yeah.
She actually had a cute face from certain angles.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and normally, let's face it, some of my choices, I'll go off face value, and then be like, the rest is okay.
Right.
This one, like she got dropped off, and like the face was like completely different.
Ooh.
The body was definitely not great. But at that point, I think I was going on like a 2.5-year streak, cold streak.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, I was like, okay. So, she's on her period. Alright. This is how bad I am. Now, I'm saying that yours is bad. Mine was worse. So, look, so she comes over and watching. Man, what were we watching? I had some DVDs. I didn't have your Netflix account at the time. And I'm watching like Arrested Development and shit. And I'm just like, I'm kind of disappointed, but at the same time, I'm like, I've talked to her enough to where I know I can at least get my dick sucked. So, so, and I'm like, and depending on how bad the period is, I can push through it. Not go down.
Oh, I'm gonna let you finish, and then I've gotta.
That's the problem. I couldn't. But so so she starts blowing me, and I'm fucking sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, all right. And then she's wanting me to fuck, but like I'm not wanting to.
Right.
And then like after about 45 minutes or so of messing around, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. There, little blood. All right. Just doesn't even have a tampon. It's a fucking maxi pad.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh no.
So she's fucking bent over. Yeah, I remember this. Fucking maxi pad. There's blood on the maxi pad. And I'm trying to fuck her. And like I'm like half. Then after like a little bit, like I'm just sitting there, I'm just gone. Nothing. Fucking nothing. I might as well just been fucking finger popping.
Something very similar to that happened to me recently. Oh, okay.
That's not the end of it though.
Uh-oh.
So so after that, she decides, I'll get on top. Alright, maybe that'll work. Now I had this pure white comforter.
Oh shit.
It was actually my mom's.
Oh no.
Alright. Now, and how I had so I had made the bed and the comforter. We obviously never pulled the comforter back.
Right.
So she was on top, and it just wasn't going. At this point, I'm just like, fucking useless. And so she hops off and she goes to the bathroom. Fucking looking at the blanket. I see blood on the fucking blanket. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I got fucking burnt in this blanket. And like, and she she actually that first day she thought I was mad because fucking couldn't keep it up for like obvious reasons. I mean,
Right.
come on now, like fucking bleeding all over me, got blood on my balls.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's not even scary. It's just nasty. It's just nasty to think about because it's like it was wet, but it's a different wetness. And I was like, this doesn't even feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
So she thought I was mad about that, but really I was mad about the fucking blanket. But like the next week, and then like she didn't stay the night that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her back. She comes over a week later. It's like, yeah, you can stay the weekend. Because I'm like, no period. I'm going to get mine. I'm at least going to get mine.
Right.
I forgot that I told her that she could stay the weekend. So, fuck. So we have sex. I go into the bathroom. I'm sitting on the fucking toilet. I'm sitting there and I got my hands like this on my head.
Uh-huh.
I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I've got to have her here until tomorrow night. Like, this was a bad idea because, you know, as soon as you get like, and then like you kind of look at him and then you're like,
Yeah, what did I just do?
oh, this is terrible. So, obviously, I'm a little bit too nice. I'm a little bit too nice. So stays the whole weekend. I ever tell you about the how this all ended?
No.
So for my birthday. So this started in like mid-March and this ended in mid-April. My birthday is on the 5th of April.
Uh-huh.
So on my birthday, she wanted to like buy me something or something. She wanted to, let's get something to eat. Fuck, go get something. She wanted to spend like a lot of money. I was like, look, let's just get some food. Fucking buy me some socks or some shit. And that's it. Alright? Because somehow I was making more money than her. Because, like, at 20 years old, she was only working, like, fucking 20 hours a week.
Very nice.
Yeah, I choose winners. So, we go and we get fucking Bill's barbecue. Fucking shit. Just a shitty meal.
Oh, really?
Fucking terrible. This is like some of the worst shit I've ever had. I've had better rib tips at King Giro.
Really?
Yeah. Than there. And got like socks or underwear or some shit. Right? So, like a week and a half later. And she was acting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Had been acting crazy the entire fucking time. I was like, I gotta break up with her. I got to. And I was gonna wait until the weekend when she came over and just break up with it. Yeah. Break up with her then. But like she started getting fucking crazy. So it was like Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Monday night. And she's like getting crazy over text. And like I'm like, I've had it.
Right.
So I break up with her. She wanted me. So let's also throw in that when we went to Walmart, she spent about $100 on herself. She wanted me to pay for the entire Bill's barbecue, her meal, my meal, at Walmart. Pay for my stuff and the $100 that she spent on her.
What?
Dude, I send her a text. I go, you're fucking crazier than I even thought. If you think I'm gonna pay for your shit, I'm paying for my half of the meal, the shit that you bought me. I'm not paying for your fucking bullshit. Right? And she fucking sends some crazy ass text. A week later. So I'm like, oh, but I also paid for her phone bill.
Oh, yeah.
The day
Yeah, I remember
before.
you saying that.
Alright, that was like $35-$40. So I go the week later. I'm like, alright, she spent like maybe $50 on me. Maybe. I've already paid $35 because I paid the phone bill. I'm gonna give her fucking $20, which will be more than enough.
Right.
Fucking laughs. Straight up laughs. And she lives with her parents,
Uh-huh.
you know, and her mom is in the next room, right? Now she's been telling her mom all this shit. And I go, no, you're out of your mind. I paid for your fucking phone bill. Her mom is in the room and she goes, he paid for your fucking phone bill? and you're saying that 20 isn't enough? Like, oh no. He's already paid for everything that he needs to pay for.
Right. Let me take a second to take a time out. I've got to pee. I'm going to try to calm the dogs down. You can kind of freestyle for a bit if you want, or if not, I can just...
I gotta pee.
Okay, well, we can just edit this silence out then.
Alright. So really, while he's away, he actually is kind of a scumbag. Don't let him fool you.
Okay, and I think we're back. I think that little break gave us a good chance to kind of regroup a little bit. My bladder's empty. I feel a hell of a lot better than I did before. Are you gonna go to the bar with me for a little bit when this is done? I don't plan on staying until 2, 3 in the morning.
I don't know about that. Being around people that I don't know. You being the only one that I know, and then meeting up with someone.
This is legitimately going to be a quick, maybe 1 or 2 drinks there.
Pretty sure that's how it was the end of June. It's gonna be a quick 1 or 2 drinks, and then we're there until like fucking 1 in the morning.
Yeah, but I'm in a better place mentally now than I was at that point in time.
You still going under your league?
I'm not going there to hook up with anybody. It's my friend's birthday today. She's actually going to be on the podcast at some point in time. We just got to figure out when our schedules match up. Yes. Dirty just mouthed her name to me because I'm not sure. Yeah. That's who it is.
Can those dogs please shut the fuck up? Jesus.
Yeah, I think somebody else just came in. I'm sure we're gonna get interrupted. I'm sure we're gonna get interrupted, so I'm gonna wait for a second to go into the story just to verify whether or not we're gonna get interrupted. While we wait, the next episode of this podcast is gonna have my brother on here. We're gonna talk. He just recently got engaged, so I'm sure him and I are gonna have a lot to talk about. And
the fact that he's not gonna be getting. He's only gonna have one vagina for the rest of his life.
He's
one mouth.
He's gonna be locked down, and she's a great girl. I love her to death. But yeah, marriage and engagement is.
I gotta say, his taste has improved when you think about it, because you think.
You realize I just picked that up. I'm gonna have to edit that name out.
Well, you know what? I don't give a shit.
I picked up what you were putting down.
Don't give a shit.
All right.
Well, like, I mean, you think, because you remember the other girl from college?
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, I think he's found a good one.
Yeah. His fiance is a great girl. They got engaged at their college at the homecoming. And I don't want to get into too many details.
What's he coming in tomorrow?
It's gonna be in. He told me the afternoon.
Son of a bitch.
How long are you gonna be here?
I don't know, but like, if you guys do the podcast, like you know,
are you gonna join in?
If you guys do it early enough, because I have to go and get like groceries and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you guys do it, I might have to join in.
Yeah, by all means, you're more than welcome. As of now,
because I haven't seen him in.
It's been a while
since the last time I remember him coming out, which I don't even remember. It was like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I only saw him in like.
In passing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping all over the place here. Can you hand me another beer, please? Tonight we're drinking Bud Light Lime.
Not a sponsor.
Maybe if I keep repeating it over and over, they will pick up on this and they will sponsor us.
It's delicious beer. Pay me, please.
Bud Light Lime is literally the most refreshing beverage you can have. I drink it when I first wake up in the morning to give me the boost that I need.
To go to work.
Yeah.
Only 4.7% alcohol.
Yeah, so it's essentially no alcohol. So I drink it when I first wake up. When I get to work, I've got a...
You really want to put that on there?
I've got a stock of it in my fridge. In the fridge at work. I reach for one as soon as I get into the office. And I probably drink 5 or 6 throughout the day.
Yeah, your bosses will love to hear that. They love the effort that you put in.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if it gets Bud Light Lime to sponsor this, I can definitely use it.
He's kind of like a starving child. He doesn't make enough. Makes considerably more than me, even after some of his.
Yeah. I feel like we should wait away from wait away from finances for the time being, at least, because I don't think either of us are in the perfect financial.
Although it does kind of depress me that you make almost twice as much as me and you have stuff coming out that we kind of suspect that it's someone else's fault.
We do suspect. We can say it in confidence. However, I don't want to use this podcast as a way of accusing somebody of a crime, so we're gonna go ahead and let that slide because of that, and because of the fact that we can talk about this because of everything that went on between the two of us. I still have strong feelings for the girl. Yeah, so do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about how that relationship ended? Because that's quite the interesting story. So
I just like that. That's kind of how that brought us kind of back together. Because if you think about it, we didn't hang out there for quite some time, and then
it was a long time we didn't hang out with each other. But I feel like it was before the breakup when you came over to our house. Because I think it was still Christmas time.
It was November.
Yeah, because we had Christmas decorations up and stuff. So I'm going to give some quick backstory. I dated this girl, almost 5 years, I think. And I'm 25 right now, almost 26. We broke up when I was
22, 23?
23. We broke up when I was 23. We actually first started talking because back in 2013 when Snapchat first became really popular, I asked my brother, who's the one that's going to be on the podcast, I asked him for his Snapchat username so I could add him. And he gave me a username, and it turned out to be this girl. And I Snapchatted who I thought was my brother, and it was not. And we started talking, and we came to find out that actually I used to work at a bank, and I worked with her grandfather. So we were talking, we hung out, and blah, blah, blah. We started dating. And...
well, not really at first, because I remember the first time she came over, and I was, because, I remember seeing, the cheerleading sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying her hair was a mess, but, it was kind of up, and I was like, oh, I know what went on here.
Yes. But, anyways, we started dating. After a while, maybe 2 years, she moved in with me. And then we decided we wanted to get a house together. So we went looking. We found perfect house. It was a nice house that we got. I mean, I don't think you can argue that. It's a nice house in a nice enough neighborhood. And I put every single dollar that I had in my savings into that. I borrowed money from my dad for some improvements that we needed for the house. Had a couple credit cards that we used excessively to just get things done, furnish the place and everything, and we put new floors in, the whole 9 yards. So I ended up, I was negative about probably 10-12 grand. We moved in there October of 2016. Jeez, 3 years ago. October 2016, because we didn't have cable yet, and it's when the Cubs were Cubs ended up winning the World Series, and I went to Walmart to buy one of those fake antenna things to screw into the TV so that we could get the game coverage. Anyways, we lived there for a few months, and after 6 months or so, she said she wanted to break up. Didn't give me a reason, anything like that. She just wanted to break up. So that kind of put me obviously in a bad spot. And we had an agreement that we would both stay there. We'd both pay the mortgage and everything. We had 2 spare bedrooms, so I would sleep in one bedroom, she'd sleep in another one. And then one night, I I was trying to fix our fence. We had two German Shepherds at the time, and there was a hole in our wooden fence, and I was out there. I am not inclined at all to do any sort of house or yard work.
Physical labor in general.
Yeah. No. So,
Pay someone.
what's that? Yeah,
You can pay someone.
exactly. So I had the day off work. It was a Wednesday, I believe. I don't know why I had it off. I think I just took the day off. Yeah, and I decided, tired of having to walk the dogs on leashes, I'm going to go out there and use some scrap wood and fix this fence up. Well, get out there and it's harder than it looks. I just thought I'd nail a couple, or hammer a couple nails into this and put a scrap piece of wood up and it'd be all good. No, I cut the shit out of myself on nails and screws and trying to put this on, and the fence was at it. It was just a complete nightmare. So, I actually gashed myself on the arm pretty good to the point where I was bleeding. So I went inside and I'm dripping blood all over the place and tried to clean it up the best I can. I put a Band-Aid on it, and while all this is going on, a female acquaintance of mine said she wanted to hang out. So, obviously in my mind, I'm single, I'm staying at this place. My ex has shown no interest in me. She's out doing her own thing. She was working at the time. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go out there. So I clean up quickly the best I can. I text her, I said, hey, I tried to clean up the mess the best that I could. I'm sorry if there's anything left over. Because I tracked some mud inside and I just used a Swiffer really quick to... Excuse me. I used a Swiffer really quick to kind of go over it and clean up the big mess. This is probably 10:30. My acquaintance lived 10 minutes away. So I got to her place and we're hanging out, we're talking, and my ex is texting me, and I'm obviously ignoring it. I ignored it. I don't think I said anything back to her. And then all of a sudden my mom calls me and my dad calls me. And then I ignored both of those calls. Then my dad called me again, so I answered it, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? Are you okay? And I'm extremely confused because my dad and I don't have that kind of relationship where we just talk on the phone and talk about our days and that sort of stuff. So I'm talking to him, and he's asking me if I can meet him at this restaurant in town and whatever. I'm like, I guess. In my mind, I thought something was wrong with him. So I leave and hop in my car and I start heading to this place, and then my mom calls me, and she's asking the same sorts of questions. I'm like, what's the matter? Like, Dad's asking me all these weird questions. I'm going to meet him at this place. My parents are divorced. They had a very, very messy divorce, and it's not a good situation between the two of them. And she told me, yeah, I know, I talked to him. Just come back to your place. I want to talk to you. Which was super odd. Because this is late at night. Both my parents have to work the next day. And they do not get along well. So, I head home. And we lived at the end of a cul-de-sac. And I see, as I pull up, my ex is sitting out in the driveway talking to my mom. And my dad had pulled up just as I was pulling up. And as I pulled up and parked, my ex ran inside the house. I got out of the car. Like, what's going on? My mom hugged me and asked me if I was okay, and it kind of clicked. My ex thought that I was suicidal. I don't know if there was a droplet of blood on the floor or what. Well, I didn't know at the time. So, talking to them, and 3 police cars pull up. with their lights going and everything, and they hop out and they start like interrogating me. So I go inside and I grab a bottle of whiskey I've got because I'm obviously irritated at the fact that I was on the verge of getting laid and now I'm standing at home with my parents and 3 police officers asking me if I'm trying to commit suicide. So I go and I get that. I start just chugging it out of the bottle. And one of the officers pulls me aside and starts talking to me, asking me if I'm okay. Blah blah blah. He said there was blood inside the house, and I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. I cut myself a little bit. It's nothing. I'm not suicidal at all. I've always been terrified of death and terrified of dying. So he asked me if he can look at my wrists. So I show him my wrists. He wanted to see my neck. He wanted to see my legs. Then he asked me if we could go inside the garage and if I would take my shirt off so that he could examine my body. Yeah. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I've showed you my wrist. I told you what happened. I showed you the cut on my arm. Whatever. So he proceeds to place me in handcuffs and takes me to the hospital. It doesn't tell me anything. Just puts me in handcuffs, puts me in the back of his car, and takes me to the hospital.
At that point, I would have asked, am I under arrest?
Well, I was just so...
What am I under arrest for?
Yeah. I was so beside
That's
myself.
small town cop shit. That's like just abuse of whatever power they think they have.
Definitely an abuse of power. So we get to the hospital, and I feel like such a fucking idiot. I'm standing there, emergency room, check-in counter, whatever you want to call it. With my hands handcuffed behind my back, and a cop walking me around. To kind of speed this up the best I can, I end up getting put in a bed on suicide watch after telling everybody and their mother that I am not suicidal. The emergency room doctor comes in, takes my vitals, and leaves. He comes back and tells me that he wants to place me on a 72-hour mental hold and send me to a mental hospital for evaluation. Like, but I'm not suicidal. Like, you didn't even look at me, you didn't talk to me, whatever. He told me that he does whatever the police recommend because he trusts their judgment. I said...
Yeah, because that works out great everywhere.
Well, and I said, aren't you a trained doctor? These guys are just...
They're law enforcement. They have no medical degree.
Right.
They have no medical degree. Or even, fucking PhD.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of what I said to him. And he was steadfast on it. They brought in I can't remember what his title was, but he was like a mental health guy. He interviewed me, and he asked me questions, and I was honest with him. And he said, "Look, you made some really dumb decisions with how you acted and in what you did and the way you texted, but you don't need to be in a mental hospital. There are people who actually need to be in there, and we don't have many beds." So he went and he told the doctor. The doctor came back and told me, "No, you're going to a mental hospital." The hospital they wanted to send me to was full. They didn't have any free beds. So I had to stay in the ER overnight. Next shift comes in. I talk to that doctor. They bring another mental health professional in. And they clear me. They send me home. They apologize for everything I went through. While this is going on, my mother rented a van from Enterprise and got all my shit out of the house and brought it to her place. But so that whole breakup ended up costing me the $12,000 that I was in debt to credit cards and my dad, plus an $8,000 overnight stay in the hospital. So that cost me $20,000 for 6 months of my life.
You actually owe more than me. Because when you think about it, so the Avenger, when they repoed it,
Uh-huh.
they sold it for 5,000,
Oh
and I
shit.
owe 12,600 on it. So I only owe 7,600 on it.
Oh really?
However, they haven't even tried to garnish me in 2 years.
After a certain amount of years, I can't remember what it is. We can look it up later. They can't go after you anymore.
Well, because the bank, after a certain point, they give it to a credit.
They sold it. Yeah.
Yeah, they sold it. So, and you remember when your dad, you remember the Floyd Mayweather fight? We went over there, and your dad handed me this thing from the Alcart.
Hey, Mayweather and McGregor.
Yeah,
You were there for that
yeah. We sat there and watched that shit show.
with my dad and his friend.
Yeah, with your dad and
Randy.
Randy, yeah. But so and before the fight, he handed me this thing from like the court or whatever the fuck it was, and it was a garnishment. Now before, like 6 months before, and this one when I was at I'll throw the name out there. All right. So when I was out there, when I was through the temp service, they started to garnish me. They started to garnish me, but it was on the very last check from the temp service.
Oh, okay.
So then I was hired in. Then they had to go through that whole process again, and then it was like 5-6 months later. I had quit 2 weeks before they had sent out the next one. So they were going to garnish my Blue Links check, but I had already received my last Blue Links check.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then I was on to the next like string of odd jobs. And since then, nothing.
Nice.
You know what? Fuck them. Don't give a shit.
Well yeah.
I give a shit. Here's the problem. Like if I were to win money in the lottery, we'll say 50,000, so I clear like 30,000, right? I would actually pay it off. I want that shit off my fucking credit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
My problem right now, though, is the taxes.
What do you mean?
Alright. So the year before, I didn't file my federal last year.
You didn't?
No, because I actually didn't.
I feel like you shouldn't have said that. I feel like you don't want to admit to tax evasion.
No, it's not tax evasion because you have up to 2 years. So I'm going to file last year's taxes this year.
Okay.
Why I didn't file this past year, I should say, is because I hadn't worked that much, and there was something messed up with my taxes because federally, and like, because I think I worked like maybe 3 or 4 months out of the year.
Right.
I only had like not maybe $100 taken out in federal in 4 months.
Holy shit.
Some like insane, ridiculous amount. Now the year before, and this is, I don't know how it works out. So, I had owed the year before state. I owed like something like maybe 2 years before, like $55.
Right.
Now, I didn't consider the fact that you get, what's it called? Interest on it.
Oh.
So I didn't consider that. So the year before, the $55, they took away my state income, what I should have gotten. However, I still owe for the state. So my Jeep that I have, they have the title. The state of Indiana has the title until I pay off the Indiana state tax.
Oh, okay.
So this coming tax year is gonna be a fucking shit show because I'm going to have I think I have like 1,100 taken out in taxes, which I haven't really made that much.
Right.
but I'm also gonna have the state tax.
I feel like you should like hire an accountant or something.
It's gonna fuck me over, but I'm gonna end up paying it because I'm just like,
You just want to get it done and over with.
I want my fucking title. That's what I really want.
Right, right.
I want my title. I want to be able to actually get a full tax check, which is fucking weird, because like because of the whole Obamacare bullshit.
Uh-huh.
All right. So not this past March, but the March before, when I did my taxes, I was supposed to get like 1,100. Yeah, fucking 500, because of that whole Obamacare shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they penalized you because you didn't have insurance.
Yeah, it's like $55 a month
Yeah.
per month.
Yep.
That's crazy though, but you paid off most of your debt, except for
Except for what's being taken, except for what's being garnished. Yeah, I've slowly but surely dug myself out of my hole.
Yeah. I mean, that shit's gonna happen. My mom was in like 20 grand at least
Mm-hmm.
in credit card debt, just credit card debt. And when you think about, all right, so like when I was growing up, all right, so my parents divorced when I was in like second or third grade.
Right.
We had a house in town. Yeah, it was actually a pretty nice house actually. So they're both on the fucking, they're both on it. My mom thought my dad was paying on the house. He was not fucking paying on it for like 6 months. So, alright, and here's the thing. My oldest brother was skipping school constantly.
Mm-hmm.
They were both fucking racing to the mailbox to get different letters. My brother from the school, my dad from the bank. Dude, my mom had a fucking nervous breakdown because of it. Because one day she got to the mailbox before him, saw the fucking eviction notice.
Oh shit.
She fucking, that day, I think it was that night, she fucking left and went to Florida for 2 weeks. This was fucking December. This was a
Wow.
week before Christmas.
Oh my god. And how old were you at this time again?
9 or 10.
Wow.
Fucking bad, because then after that we lived in this like, and think about it, I'm not sure why she didn't divorce him right then.
Right.
You would think right then that's like you're done.
Yeah, that's an automatic, like...
But like it was about like 6-7 months later, but we were living in this fucking shithole. Just this like there was like maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms, but it was like a really fucking shitty place. And it was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was bad. And then she got out of the credit card debt because like about, alright, so that was like first or second grade, and then like third grade she met this one dude, and he was kind of around till about like maybe I was in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually paid her way out of debt,
Oh,
in
really?
a sense. Yeah. Pretty good guy, but like, he died and no one fucking told me until like 6 years after the fact.
What the What did you know where he died from?
He was a big guy. It was a heart attack. He was driving and he had a heart attack
Oh my god.
while he was driving, yeah. Fucking, it was like crazy shit, because I think, yeah, that was like 6th grade, so I was like 12, 13. I didn't find this shit out until I was like 22.
Wow. You saying you're like 12 or 13? I've got Reddit pulled up here, and I'm looking at Ask Reddit, and the top post right now is, what would 12-year-old you think of how you are now?
Disappointed. Jesus.
Why is that? When you were 12 or around 12, what did you envision for you at 57? Or
I'm 27,
sorry.
and it's not really 12-year-old me, because 12-year-old me didn't really know what the fuck to think.
Right.
And really, when I look at it, even 18, 19-year-old me, because you think about like when you're 18 or 19, you think that the world works this way,
Oh yeah.
and that it's going to work out exactly how you think. Because when I was like 18, 19, senior in high school, I was like, well, right after high school, I'll get a job. I'll get my own little one-bedroom apartment. I'll work my way up from there. Not how it worked at all. And then I also think, but then there's this weird thing,
Uh huh.
and it's different for you because you make more now than what you ever did when you were 20, 21.
Right.
I made way more money when I was 20 or
Yeah.
21 than
Yeah.
what I make right now.
Is that when you were working at the hardware store? No.
Yeah. Yeah, not the one, not Lowe's or Home Depot, but that other one.
With that asshole who was dumping toxic waste in a lake or
Yeah, he
whatever.
was doing some shit like that. Has like a NASCAR, something to
Oh,
do with
yeah, his
NASCAR.
kid drives a NASCAR.
Yeah, something like that. Um, yeah, no, I was making way more money then. But it's also weird though, because I think about it and I was making more money then. I'm happier now.
Making less money.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird.
Hold on to that thought. I have to pee again, but hold
Yeah,
on
I'm
to
gonna
that
have to
because
pee again too, so I'm gonna wait until you come back.
Okay.
What? I had this flashback to the urgent care, and there's a sign up there, and it's like we handle everything from bacteria or viral to zipper accidents.
Okay, and we're back. Where were we when we left off?
We're talking about how when I was like 20, 21, I was making more money, but like
Oh,
I'm
but you're
happier
happy.
now making less money.
Why do you think that is?
When I was like 20 or 21, I was spending it on really dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like I was buying a lot of booze.
A lot of booze.
A lot of booze, a lot of cigarettes, and I would throw the guitars in there. But like when you really think about it, I've had a lot of guitars,
Right.
but it's not like I was out. I was making what $550 a week. It's not like I was out buying a guitar every month.
Right. Right.
You would think that, but I wasn't. I was just spending on a lot of shit, like buying a lot of fast food, buying a lot of fucking booze, buying a lot of cigarettes, spending a shit ton on gas. Because also gas was like $4 a
Gas was
gallon then.
really expensive back then, yeah.
And like, they're just. I didn't have that responsibility of like actual bills to pay.
Right. Right.
And then I was still making pretty decent money, and then like I did have bills to pay, but the bills were like $400 a month, but I was bringing in like $2,000 a month,
Right.
but I had nothing to show for it really at the end. And now it's more like I get my shit paid, whatever is fucking left, I can spend on whatever.
Right.
I don't have like too much shit, but like I have stuff.
Sure.
I have stuff, but I don't have stuff.
Yeah, and that's as you know, I went through that same sort of deal with my baseball cards and my.
Well, yeah, but like, and at this point, because it was really that lack of like discipline. Like I was always good about money, but I wasn't good about money. But like I think that there's a lot of things that happened in the last like year or two
Right.
that made me just grow the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I I know exactly what you mean in the sense that I've had similar things happen to me. Again, as you know,
Kind of, but like not really.
not the same things, but I've had things.
Cause my thing was more like, cause let's see. So we're in November now, and in like a little less than 3 weeks. So my mom died last year, November 21st,
Uh huh.
and I think that's what fucking said it. That's kind of what it was, because I was living in the hotel and all that shit. My shit wasn't together. But then after that, then I was able to save back some money,
Right.
keep on working, save back money, keep myself fed. Then I was able to move out
Right.
and get my own place.
So how did that end with the hotel? Because just for a little bit of backstory, you and your two brothers were living in a regular hotel. It was more
Hotel.
of a it was a motel.
It was a motel. Let's face it. And it was like there was like two beds in there. So that fucking room, that room was maybe a little bit bigger than this fucking room.
The room that we're in now is maybe
It
10,
was
it's maybe 10 by 12.
maybe if that, but like it would have been like. Is that you got like what, queen size mattress?
Yep.
So it would have been like two full size mattresses, and maybe this wall would go to that door, so it'd be extended by like 3 feet.
Right. So you were essentially in. It was three grown adults. You being the youngest at 25 at the time.
Shit,
Right.
24, 25, something like that.
25. And how old was your oldest brother at the time?
10 years older than me, so 34, 35.
So basically 25 to 35, three of you guys living in a hotel room. I mean, just living in the same house as somebody can get rough. At times, just dealing with somebody, I can't imagine living basically in the same room, in the same bedroom as two other people.
If you can even call it a bedroom. It's like... So, like, you would walk in there. Alright, so you walk in through the door. There's a key card. You know, it took me about a fucking week to get used to actual keys.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
you're
bet.
there for like 2.5 years to not be able to just swipe a card and let yourself in. Ah, that was nice. But like you would walk in there, you'd walk 2 feet. Here's a bed on your left. So it's like 2 feet bed. So there's 2 feet of open space.
Right.
There's a door that leads into the room next door.
Like a pass through.
Huh?
Like it was two conjoined rooms.
Yeah. Alright. So, bed. And it's like a full size bed. So, on the other side of the bed, there's like maybe 2 feet of space between that bed and the next bed.
Right.
Alright? So, now then, over to the right, it's like TV stand, TV, and after about fucking 2 or 3 months, we got a fucking mini fridge in there. We didn't have a mini fridge in there in the beginning. We didn't have a mini fridge. We didn't have a microwave.
Wow.
We didn't have a fucking coffee pot. So everything that we ate, we had to fucking eat then.
Wow.
We were, because the whole reason we went there
Mm-hmm.
was so that we could save back money and be out of there within 1 to 2 months.
Right.
But when you're having to buy McDonald's or whatever the hell is closest to you,
Yeah, you've got to buy ready-made food, so you've got to buy fast food or...
yeah. So we couldn't save money that way. And then we got the mini fridge. Someone gave us a toaster oven.
Mm-hmm.
That was like 4 months in. So after 4 months in, we could do that. But here's the difference. Alright, so let me finish explaining the room. Because, so, you got this entertainment stand, which kind of it goes from like halfway of each bed. So half of the bed,
Uh-huh.
and it covers the distance to the half of the next bed.
Right.
All right, TV. So you go about 3 feet, maybe. There's the sink. Bathroom is right to the left.
Right.
And then it's a wall. And then, just a wall. There's a little safe. That's all the room is.
Wow.
So you're confined in a space that's maybe at most 20 feet
Right.
from the door. It's like door and maybe 20 feet.
And that's all the way through into the little bathroom area. And
Yeah. Which the little bathroom area, I mean, there's barely enough room to sit down to take a shit.
Can you hand me another beer?
Yeah. So we don't get a toaster oven until like month 4. Because one of our neighbors who is actually cool, we only had like, one or two neighbors that were like, they weren't nosy. They
Right.
did their own thing, we did our own thing. Alright, so they gave us a toaster oven. Month 3, we had gotten a fucking, a mini fridge. And the mini fridge stood maybe about 3 feet tall. And then we could start buying groceries. But day 1 of the hotel, alright, so we had gotten the hotel. We brought our shit there, because me and my oldest brother were staying at the homeless shelter.
Right.
So we brought our shit there from the hotel. Brought the other brother, brought his shit over to the hotel. Then we all went to work.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest brother got hurt at work. And I say hurt
With air quotes.
with air quotes because I don't doubt that he got hurt. I didn't see what happened.
Right.
He did not look for a job for 10 weeks.
Wow.
10 fucking weeks. So it went from 3 people paying for a hotel room down to 2 within the first fucking day. And I think at that time I was working like 50, 55 hours. My other brother was working like 60 to 70 hours. So he was actually making good money.
Right.
But also when you consider the fact that we couldn't actually buy food.
Right. Buy food and prepare it.
Yeah. We were losing money. We were coming out like maybe having like 100 or 200 for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there was so much shit that we didn't have.
Right. And what were you guys paying a month at that place?
$270 per week.
Wow. So that's what, $1,080 a month?
1,080, 540 between 2 people for 10 weeks. Here's the thing. So we were there for 2.5 years. He didn't have a job for 10 weeks. He got a job at McDonald's. He was there a week. My oldest brother. He was there for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a job for another 2 weeks.
Hold on. How did his employment at McDonald's end? I guess the story you get in the actual story, I'm sure, are probably different, but
I guess he just couldn't. He couldn't handle being around that kind of person. They was very loud and outspoken kind of person. They didn't really give a shit.
right. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then he went to. So it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, and then he got a job at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was actually very good. I think he was making like $10.50 an hour.
Uh-huh.
He would bring home food like
Oh, yeah.
constantly. He was some good food, and it's funny because that lasted. I want to say that lasted up until about New Year's, because around New Year's they played on AMC the entire series of Breaking Bad. Motherfucker stayed home for that. The whole fucking thing. So he got fired from there because of Breaking Bad. And then about 2 to 3 weeks go by, he gets a job. He gets a job at Wings, and it was a little bit less. I think it was like $9.75 or something like that. He got fucking fired from there. Like after like 2 weeks. After like 2 weeks, he just wasn't really like he wasn't showing up on time. And to give you perspective of the hotel, so I was like, hotel, Chinese restaurant, fucking wings.
Oh yeah.
It's like fucking wings.
So
No. Actually, to be fair, that was Buffalo Wild Wings. So to be fair, so hotel, cross the street, go about 50 yards, cross the street, Buffalo Wild Wings.
So
Wings, etc.
Less than a mile.
Yeah, less than a mile. It wasn't even a half a mile. And he couldn't show up to work on time. Alright. Then after that, it was like 2 or 3 weeks. And I think he started at, it was either Burger King or Arby's. One of those two. It was Arby's. He started at Arby's, and he was making like $9 an hour, which you think fast food. That's actually not bad for fast food. But like out of nowhere, he went to Burger King, which was like $10 an hour. But he was getting fucked at Burger King because I guess he's like an assistant manager there,
Right.
but they didn't have enough people on that shift,
So
they would have to constantly work under man or whatever.
Right.
Whatever the story actually was.
Right.
They actually fucked him. They tried to, but then they tried to fuck him over because they didn't pay him. He went to the Better Business Bureau, and they tried to say that they paid him, but then the Better Business Bureau actually fucking went in and was like, no, you fucking canceled that check after he quit.
Oh wow.
So then, like, immediately he got paid, like, after 3 weeks.
Wow.
He didn't have an actual job after that. Oh, no, he went to medics, then he got arrested. Then he came back. He didn't have an actual job, like a job. He worked for the hotel for like 3 or 4 months, which I guess paid the rent. That's when I was staying here.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so when I started staying here for a little bit, he was working there. He knew that was going to end. He got his tax return, and he knew that was going to end. He started working a job at Subway. He got his fucking $5,000 tax return. After 2 weeks of working at Subway, did not have a job.
Oh my god.
Now, in between that, I had moved back over there.
Right.
And within that, I had like 3 or 4 interviews just from moving back there within the first 2 weeks. He didn't look for a job at all. I had 3 or 4 interviews. I actually interviewed at Lowe's.
Right.
And I had thought that I had gotten the job. And it was like, I think it was like, they didn't tell me the pay, but I think it was like about $14 an hour. I was like, that's pretty fucking good for retail.
Right.
And he didn't have a job, and he didn't like work there. So what ended up happening? So at this point, we're about the 2-year mark. So we kicked him out in beginning of November.
November of 2018,
2018.
A year ago.
Yeah. Right before Mom passed away, which, surprisingly, she was all for. So we kick him out. Alright? Because he stopped working. So he stopped working for the hotel, had the Subway job, quit when he got the fucking thing, and then he blew through 5,000. He got pissed at us because I don't think I was able to actually get a job until July or August. So it had been like 2 or 3 months. I had been putting out applications, getting interviews, but I hadn't been able to actually get a job. They just didn't hire me. And he was like, he got all fucking pissed off, and I just started working at Kroger. Or no, Cracker Barrel. The plates expired, so I had to walk to work. Alright. That's when they kind of fucked me over. When they just didn't want to, they just didn't pay.
Right.
So I got a job at Kroger, had to walk the 2.5 miles there, 2.5 miles back for fucking minimum wage, pretty much.
Jeez.
And work 8 hours a day.
Right.
He had gotten a job at Jimmy John's, but then immediately left for McAllister's,
Wow.
which paid more, but then immediately after the training, he didn't say anything, but then he left there. But he had left, so before that, like a month before, he fucking left us with the bill. He left us for the bill for the fucking hotel.
Mm.
Didn't say anything. Just up and fucking disappear for like 3 weeks. I had to sell everything. My CDs, my guitar, my PlayStation, my games, fucking everything. He just up and fucking disappeared. So then he came back and he did that McAllister thing. He left for fucking 2 days. Left us with the bill. That's when we kicked him out.
Right.
As soon as he did that, we fucking went down there. No, we don't want him in the room. Okay. Fuck. Kicked his ass out.
Jeez. And have you heard from him since, or?
We kicked him out. So, kicked him out, and it was right after my mom passed away. So she passed away. It was like midnight, going on to the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. So, right before the day. Alright. So, we had kicked him out like 2 or 3 weeks before.
Mhm.
And let me think. So obviously I went to work. No. Wait. It was Wednesday going into Thanksgiving Day. So I went to work for fucking some reason. I went to work that day and got home, and this chick from Tennessee, she originally lived here, but she lived in Tennessee, was
Mhm.
going to come down.
Have on yours.
Yeah. She was going to come down, and I was like, honestly, I was just looking to fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
At that point. But she was like, oh no, I'm not going to. However, we had made plans like 3 weeks prior.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So fast forward to that Monday. Alright. So for 3 weeks we had kicked him out and we thought that was gone. We had seen him at the hotel, but we thought that he was working for the hotel and just getting money.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just like under
Which
the table
he
type.
was,
Yeah.
which he was, but we go, so that Monday, she's going to leave the following night. That Monday, she messages me and she's like, hey, I'm DTF. Literal message. And I'm like, aight.
Okay, yeah.
Like, alright, like, fuck, come over. Like, I can clean up the room next door. Have the room next door to ourselves. I fucking open up the door, and this motherfucker is sleeping in the goddamn bed. She is going to be there in 30 minutes.
Oh,
and
no.
I open up the fucking door in between the rooms. I go in there. I'm like, this motherfucker's sleeping? I fucking close the door. I'm like, this motherfucker, he's ruining everything for me. I can't even get this motherfucker out of my life for just like I don't know, 40 minutes at max. I don't know, 20, 2. But like, yeah. So that happened. However, I did have a good fucking time in the parking lot at Planet Fitness.
In the parking lot at the gym?
Yeah, I got blown.
Nice.
I guess. I mean, I didn't really finish. It's kind of odd and like it's kind of awkward because like it's kind of like a smaller car. So like she's in the driver's seat. I didn't drive because if you think about it, I didn't have my shit registered until March, so
Oh, okay.
I wasn't driving.
Right.
But so I'm in the passenger seat and she's blowing me, and like I'm like this, so I'm kind of like this, and I can't really move my legs. And every time I go up with my feet like this, I fucking start cramping.
That is the
It was
worst.
45 minutes of that shit.
Oh, I gotta give it to the girl for the dedication.
Yeah, I know. That was like the second time that she couldn't go through with it, like finish the job. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm just like, it's probably you, actually.
Oh my god.
'Cause
Okay.
I've had like scenarios where it's like, fucking 5 minutes in.
Right. Yeah, I feel like we've all had that 5 minutes or less. But I feel like on that note, we've been at this for about 2 hours now.
Really?
1 hour and 50 minutes and 32 seconds. As I say this, it's 11 o'clock. We got a place to be. I feel like now's a good time to wrap it up. I'll edit this, and with all the shit we talked about, we'll probably edit this down to about 10 minutes. And
Well, we didn't really mention names. I might have slipped up and mentioned like one or two.
there are a couple names, couple locations, but
What's funny though is that I mentioned a couple names for you,
yeah,
but
of course,
none of mine.
of course. So,
I keep my shit fucking to my chest, but yours I
sure.
unleash.
So I'll
Got to, bitch.
I'll edit this down and I'm gonna send it to you. We'll both have to listen to this and kind of see if there's anything any sort of awkward pauses or anything that we need to pull out. Because I'm sure there are plenty. This is our first time doing this.
I don't know. I mean, I think that we had
a couple pee breaks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we gotta get rid of those, but like, we pretty much talked the entire time. So I
Yeah.
think that's actually pretty good. There wasn't really too many awkward pauses. We kind of just told stories most of the time. We didn't even talk about football, so
We didn't talk about football.
we didn't
talk-
really need to because we just got into chatting.
We got into the confessions a little deeper, a little quicker than I thought we would. Maybe, are you down to do this again next week? We'll get
Yeah,
another
sure. Might as well.
deal done. We'll make sure to talk about football. I'll check
Or
Reddit.
not. Jesus.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't even know half the quarterbacks in the league, so you know what?
Yeah.
I've been out of the loop for like 3 years, so.
Well, maybe next week we can kick it off with if there's any sort of big topics in the news or anything that's going on. Could be sports, could be politics, could be God knows what. We'll analyze it, talk about it, and then kind of dive back into some of our confessions and some of our embarrassing stories. We could probably fill a podcast for the next 10 years about them.
I don't know about 10 years. I mean, I could fucking embarrass you for about 10 years because I know some shit. But my experiences aren't I don't have as many.
Okay, with that being said, we're gonna start off next week's podcast with some very embarrassing stories from you at the bar when you were supposed to be my designated driver.
Oh, you mean like the fucking one time that happened?
We're not. I'm not even gonna start to get into that yet.
What about the time when I was the designated driver and I actually went through with it? about this fucking 2 or 3 times that you've thrown up in Taco Bell parking lots because you've had too much to drink. You fucking asshole.
We will get into all of those stories plus many, many more next week. Do you have any parting words you want to say, Dirty, or?
I have a feeling like you might cut out half of my audio.
There may be some of your words that are going to be dubbed in the release, but we'll get this.
Yeah, probably. Probably use some outtakes too. I don't know. Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Some choice words.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. I don't know when this is going to come out, but when it comes out, we'll have social media handles for you guys to get a hold of Twitter. We might open a Patreon. Maybe put this on YouTube.
You know what? We probably should just right now go with the Twitter handles.
I'm going to let you plug your Twitter. I don't have a Twitter associated with this at this point in time yet.
Are you kidding me? I'm just going to go with my...
Well, yeah, but you...
I have 53 followers.
Good job.
When the fuck did I get that? I was at 10, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, you were. But my Twitter is my real first name, my real last name, and it's got all sorts of personal stuff on there. I'm not ready to have that out in the open yet.
Yeah, I don't have any personal shit.
Yeah. So, okay,
yeah.
Go ahead and plug yours before we...
the Dirty Dog 1.
Do you need help reading that, or you're a little too... Okay, go ahead and follow Dirty on Twitter. It's at the Dirty Dog. Dogs with 2 G's, and then the number 1. So at TheDirtydog1. Again, thanks everybody for listening. We will see you guys next time.